below 2,000, baby. Eden Palms, Monterey Road, I'm a project baby. Eagles Drive, we was at Oak Grove, barely graduated. We got Tasha, Molly, Bodie, Corbett, they gon' have to hate us.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the New Media Podcast. I'm your host. Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the last episode because, as always, today's going to be an even better episode. I got the whole crew with me. Everybody's in the house today, and Week 12 is right around the corner, so we're just going to be discussing that today. But before we jump into Week 12, I did forget to talk about our record totals for Week 11, so I want to go ahead and start with that. So basically, I finished with the best record last week with the record of 12-2. Abdi was right behind me at 9-5, and Big H was right behind me at 10-4, and Abdi was dead last at 9-5, which leaves us with me in first with a record of 94, 72-1. Abdi right behind me 92, 71-1, and Big H right behind Abdi 90, 73-1. So 11 weeks into the season, we've cut Abdi's lead down from what was it, like maybe 9-10 games down to 2 for Big H, and now the leads up for me is 2. I gotta keep this thing going, man. But temperature check. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling?
Thanksgiving week, man. I'm excited to see some football.
Football early this week, man. We got what, 3 games on Thursday?
Yeah, we got a nice little slate of games for Thanksgiving. So of course, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The very first game that'll kick off our Thanksgiving slate of games. The Buffalo Bills are on the road playing the Detroit Lions. 9:30 a.m. game.
Apparently, the NFL has an obsession with Detroit Lions just playing on Thanksgiving. I feel like every single year Thanksgiving's on, they've just been playing on it. But I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills in this one. Again, I'm not buying what happened with the Detroit Lions last week and their defense playing great against the Giants. I'm not gonna buy that this is gonna happen against Josh Allen. Josh Allen is just gonna tear them apart, and I'm just gonna give him. I believe he won Thanksgiving a couple years back, and I'm rock with him again on Thanksgiving. So give me Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm plain and simply going with Josh Allen. I think the Lions, their offense is exciting, but I don't think the defense is going to do anything against the Bills this week. But yeah, early game for Josh Allen. He's going to come into Detroit. He's going to have some fun, him and Diggs, and I expect that, them to put up some points on the board. So I got the Bills winning.
I got the Bills winning as well. Do you guys believe they'll cover this -9.5 spread?
Anything that's above 8.5 or even 8 as a spread, I'm not comfortable with. I feel like Thanksgiving, like teams are, I don't know.
9.5 is high, but maybe.
I don't think they cover that. I think they win by a touchdown, but 9 is a bit excessive.
I think they cover it. I think they beat the Lions by more than 10. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think so too. I think just it being an early game, not many people are going to be watching it. 9:30 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. So I think the Bills get the job done here. Diggs, Gabe Davis, they have some great days against that Detroit Lions secondary. And Josh Allen, man, he just got a win on their turf again last week against the Cleveland Browns, and he's going to go ahead and do that again on a short week. So give me the Bills here, and I'll take the spread as well, -9.5. But we'll go ahead and move on to our second game of the day. The New York Giants are on the road playing the Dallas Cowboys.
What's the spread on this?
Cowboys -9.5.
It's ridiculous for a divisional game. That's absolutely absurd. Like, obviously I'm gonna go with the Cowboys because their defense just like lights out. They're gonna do a good job at harassing Daniel Jones, but that spread is just absurd for a divisional matchup. I don't know how often a team has had a divisional matchup where the spread is that high and they cover it. I just can't imagine because teams are not just gonna bow down to the Cowboys, and the Giants are reeling from losing last week, and I feel like this week they're gonna come in with a different approach and they're just gonna try to win, but I just don't see it with this team and their lack of offensive weapons outside of Saquon Barkley. They're gonna just attempt to harass Daniel Jones. So give me the Cowboys and their elite defense.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys and their defense right now, especially Tony Pollard and that offense right now. They're coming in heavy, man. Giants, they lost another receiver, Rondell Robinson, man. It just adds on to the injury list that they have at their offensive side of the ball. And the Cowboys defense, they're gonna zero in on Saquon. They're gonna make Daniel Jones try to force him to throw, make some mistakes. Diggs is gonna look for some big plays. But yeah, I expect the Cowboys to come in and control most of the game. The spread you said was 9.5?
-9.5.
Division game, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think Cowboys win.
I'm going to take the Cowboys. I'm agreeing with you guys as well. I believe they won't be able to cover this -9.5 spread. But I think this is going to be an interesting game, though, to be honest. The Giants, they're coming off a very, very bad loss. Cowboys just got an insane win. Divisional game, Thanksgiving. I think this game can maybe the Cowboys will probably win this game on like maybe a field goal or maybe 6 points. But I just don't see a way the Giants are going to be able to pull this one out. They can give the ball to Saquon all they want, but at the end of the day, the Cowboys are going to make Daniel Jones beat him. And he wasn't able to do that the last time they matched up. And I think Cooper Rush is playing, but I think it would be a good game, good time for the Cowboys to get back on track on Thanksgiving. I think it was last year where they got smoked by the Raiders. I think, right? Yeah, Deshaun Jackson. I remember that vividly. So I'll take the Cowboys in this one. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game, the last game that'll close out our Thanksgiving game slate. The New England Patriots are on the road playing my Minnesota Vikings.
Give me the Vikings in this one, but it's going to be interesting how Bill Belichick approaches this game in terms of guarding Justin Jefferson. We know with Bill Belichick, his mindset coming into every game is he's going to shut down your best offensive weapon. That's his game plan. And the good thing for the Vikings, they have another guy in Dalvin Cook, so it's going to be tough to try to take away two of their weapons. But if anyone can do it, it's Bill Belichick. But give me the Vikings this one, just because I'm still not buying this Patriots offense. Even last week, I mean, they put up only 10 points, and literally 7 of that came from a punt return. So I'm not buying this offense. I don't think that they can put up big points like that. Of course, the Jets defense is elite, but at the same time, just not buying Mac Jones. I feel like, yeah, he did have a solid game last week, but it's not. You have to have more than a solid game to put up points in this league. So I'm not buying the Patriots. Give me the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings as well. Patriots, Bill Belichick, man, he always comes in, takes out your best player. But for the Vikings, even if that happens, Dalvin Cook got to step up, T.J. Hawk got to step up, Thielen got to step up as well. So I feel like the Vikings, they just got more offensive pieces, and as you know, the Patriots, their offensive is just try to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And if that gets taken away, it's a tough day for them. So I got Vikings coming out getting this dub.
Of course, I'm rolling with my Minnesota Vikings. I think this is a very, very good spot for us to bounce back. If getting beat on our home turf by 37 points, pretty much we couldn't get anything going on offense. Because of our offensive line and how bad they played. Dallas pretty much bulldozed their way through us. This is a good spot. Short week. When you get beat like that, you don't necessarily want to wait an entire week to play another game of football. So we're going to be pretty banged up. We lost Christian Darrisaw to another concussion, so he's probably going to be out a couple of weeks. And we're already down a lot of our guys in our secondary. Cameron Dantzler hasn't played in quite some time, and we got a rookie out there. But it's not like the New England Patriots have like crazy wide receivers. I know Jacoby Myers is very, very good. He's talented, but other than that, they rely heavily on their run game and Mac Jones being the game manager that he is, but they have a pretty good defense. So of course, like Abdi said, I'm interested to see what Bill Belichick does with Justin Jefferson and, probably put Jack Jones on him. But regardless, this is a good spot for us. Another primetime game. Kirk Cousins, he could, be great or be shit, but I'm hoping he's great. But we'll be good enough to win this game. Our spread right now is -2.5. If we win this game, we're definitely going to win it by more than 2.5 points. So go ahead and give me my Minnesota Vikings. But that wraps up our Thanksgiving slate of games. We'll go ahead and move on to Sunday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the road playing the Cleveland Browns.
Even the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming out there bye, they probably have gotten a lot more healthier. Coming into the bye, they had some momentum. They picked up a couple wins, and of course, in this division, teams are right there with them in terms of Falcons. They're right there behind them. But given the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I feel like the defense for the Cleveland Browns is not enough. And of course, we can't sit here and act like the Tampa Bay offense has been off the charts or anything, but they have looked better as of recently. So I have higher hopes for them to be better in this game. So give me them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tampa as well. Them, coming off of 2 wins and having a bye week to recharge, I feel like they're gonna come into this game, much better than what they looked early on in the season. Their offense, I feel like, is gonna be much better. I'm hearing a lot about Rachaad White getting more touches right now, him starting in the backfield instead of Leonard Fournette, and I kind of like that. I think the running back is much more explosive right there with him in the backfield, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna go with Tampa and Cleveland. It is what it is for them, man. Sitting at 3-7, Deshaun Watson is about to come back soon. They lost some close ones, but their game plan, man, just run the ball and hopefully, Amari Cooper gets some, catches for fantasy and give me a touchdown or something like that. But Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the W.
Are you only saying that about Rashad White because you have him in fantasy, or do you actually really believe he's a better running back than Leonard Fournette in this offense?
You know me, man.
Your
I mean,
fantasy team comes first.
he has
But at
looked
the
a lot
same
more
time, though,
explosive
man,
though.
he's explosive, especially last week. Man. I think it was like 14 carries for 105 yards. Hey, that guy, whenever he touches the ball, hey, he might be, Tony Pollard, Zeke 2.0 in this situation. We'll see, though.
As a Leonard Fournette fantasy owner, man, that's something I don't want to hear. But I did hear a report that they're going to give Rashad White the starting position going forward. But we'll see how that plays out in their backfield. But regardless, go ahead and give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one. They needed this bye week to regroup, to recharge, to get their guys healthy, and for Tom Brady to just reset and get back in the zone and finish out the second half of the season for them. Their last three games, going up against Baltimore, Los Angeles Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks, escaping those three games with a record of 2-1. They weren't necessarily supposed to do that. Simply because of the way they've been playing this entire season. So I think, and I said it when they beat the Rams, that might have been the turning point for their season, and I think that's really true. So they're gonna come in here, they're gonna be on the road in Cleveland. The spread right now is -3.5. I think they win this game by 10 points. And Tom Brady, I think he might throw it for maybe, I want to say 3 touchdowns this game. And they probably won't have much success running the ball. It'll be just decent, but Tom Brady gets the job done here. Go ahead and give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to move on to 6-5 after this week. We'll go ahead and move on to an interesting game. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the road playing the Tennessee Titans.
This one is a bit interesting. This one, because that Titans defense is no joke, man, and they have a simple offensive game plan. We've raved about it all season long. It's just give Derrick Henry the ball and that's it. But they have found some success as of recently, getting guys like Treylon Burks involved, and Ryan Tannehill, in terms of coming back into his offense, is an upgrade for them over Malik Willis because he's not ready yet. And I don't know, this offense for this Bengals team, it has looked better without Jamar Chase. They are starting to figure it out. T. Higgins had a monster game last week, so this one is a lot tighter than people think. What's the spread on this? You're muted, by the way.
The spread on this game is, I think it's this Cincinnati Bengals -2.5, -1.5.
Ooh. I don't know how to tackle this game. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. I feel like offensively they have started to find their identity, but I am afraid of a Derrick Henry breakout game. I feel like as recently he hasn't had a monster game in a while. He's kind of just been struggling on the ground. The last week against the Packers, I think it was only like 3 yards a carry. And the week before that against the Broncos, he didn't get much going on the ground. So I am afraid of a Derrick Henry breakout, but give me the Bengals this one. I feel like offensively they are starting to figure out their identity. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well. I just don't think Tannehill's gonna do the same thing he did against the Packers defense last week. I feel like he's facing a better team, some better competition. And this Bengals offense, even without Jamar Chase the last couple of weeks, T. Higgins stepped up. Joe Burrow's been hooping. Even Mixon had his games, and I think they're gonna come in and do what they did last week and come out and grind out a W. I do expect it to be a close game. Titans are gonna put up a fight, especially with their defense and Derrick Henry, but. I think Bengals come out and win by a touchdown.
You guys are putting me in a tough spot, man. Bengals -1.5. I've been going bold these last 3 weeks, so I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not. This game won't be necessarily a bold pick, but I'm gonna pick the 7-3 Titans to win this game against the Cincinnati Bengals, simply because I like their defense and their simple offensive game plan. And Joe Mixon is banged up. He's in the concussion protocols. I'm not too entirely sure if he's going to be able to make it out of there. So go ahead and give me the Tennessee Titans to win this one at home. Without Joe Mixon, they're not going to have success on the ground with Samaje Perine and Jamar Chase. They could say he's practicing all he wants this entire week. I don't believe he's going to be good to go this week, but I think he'll be good to go next week. So go ahead and give me the Titans to win this one at home. Bengals move on to 6-5. Titans move on to 8-3. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Houston Texans are on the road playing the Miami Dolphins, who are finally back off of bye.
I don't think this requires much discussion. Given the Miami Dolphins, Texans defense has not looked good. Their offense has not looked good. They only have one piece, and that's Damian Pierce. I mean, the Dolphins should have a fairly easy affair. Just pick them apart. with their two weapons in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So give me the Dolphins in this one.
Dolphins are gonna have a field day, man. It's gonna be like playing Madden on a rookie against the Texans, you know? Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, even Gesicki's gonna have his ones. So I got Miami coming in, they're gonna win it. Texans, Damian Pierce, tank for the #1 pick. That's all that There's nothing else to say about them. So
Miami Dolphins are going to win this game. Tua's going to have another amazing game. He's going to throw for over 280 yards. He's going to throw for another 3 touchdowns, and he's going to have a clean game where he doesn't turn over the ball. And we're going to come back here and we're going to talk about the game, and you guys are still not going to give him his flowers. So you guys are going to say how weak the Texans are, how bad the matchups are each and every week. It's simple for him getting the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So he's cut this short. I'm going to go ahead and pick the Dolphins in this one. This is easy. Their spread right now is -13. That's a lot of points, but I'll go ahead and take it. I think they would probably win this game by like 17 points, and Tua probably doesn't even play majority of the fourth quarter. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Chicago Bears are on the road playing the New York Jets. The New York Jets right now are currently having a QB crisis. They do not know who's going to be their starting quarterback. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets. This one, I feel like I've just been going with them the last 3 weeks, and I'm gonna continue to go with them just because that defense is just amazing to me. They continue to get it done even without the lack of help on the offensive end from the quarterback. And I'm really hoping this quarterback situation clears up for this team because their wide receivers are disgruntled. Nobody's happy in this offense. Everybody's just frustrated with what's going on, and I feel like Jets fans need a change at quarterback. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. Even if there isn't a quarterback change, I feel like defensively they'll do enough to harass Justin Fields, who lacks an offensive line and no true weapons on the outside. So give me the Jets in this one.
and I don't think there's gonna be. I think they give Zach Wilson another chance this week, and I'm based off that, man. I think I'm gonna rock with the Bears this week. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields, and I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna roll the dice. That Jets defense is great. What I'm saying, they put some clamps on some good teams, but with this, what's what happening with Zach Wilson in the locker room and the receiver room, and how they're going at it. And if he comes out and starts again this week, I don't think the Jets are gonna come out and win. So I'm rocking with the Bears.
I mean, Justin Fields' status for this week is up in the air, man. He might not even play. So
Shoulder injury, right?
yeah, throwing.
Damn.
I believe it's his left shoulder, I think. So I'll go. If you want to change your pick, you have until the end of this game. But for me personally, I'm forced to take the Jets. There's not much. I don't have wiggle room here. I can't. It's not like if Justin Fields is playing, I probably would have sided with him. But with his status being up in there, I don't necessarily have I can't necessarily do much. So at the Jets, whether or not they give Zach Wilson another go or Mike White, whoever it is, Joe Flacco, I just trust them a little bit more because I think the Bears' backup quarterback is Trevor Siemian, and he probably hasn't thrown a ball in maybe 2 years, as a quarterback in this league. So
Man, that's tough, man. If
you know,
Justin Fields starts, can I pick the Bears? If that happens or no?
no.
I can't lose this game. I'm going with the Jets. Fuck it.
I guess we're all
Justin
going.
Fields injury is scary, so
We're all going Jets. But yes, this game, man, it could have been interesting if Justin Fields played, but with his status being up in there, I just don't know. But I'll take the Jets. We'll move on to the next game. The Atlanta Falcons are on the road playing the red hot Washington Commanders.
Man, these Commanders, they're crazy right now on defense, man. Taylor Heineke continues to get his playmakers involved, continues to do a good job at getting guys involved in this offense. And I'm gonna give me the Commanders in this one. Their defense has just been playing lights out as of recently. They continue to generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks. And this Falcons team, I mean, they're kind of interesting. They do put up points. They are a team that just doesn't go away. They do put up points, but I would rather rock with a team that's red hot right now. So give me the Commanders.
Taylor Heineke and the boys right now, man. They winning football. They playing great football right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders. They're getting Chase Young back this week, man. That defense is playing phenomenal. So, I feel like they're gonna come in, stop that run game, and control this game. And the spread's at 4.
-4 Commanders.
I think they win by a touchdown.
Damn. So okay, so I mean, I'm gonna pick the Commanders as well. This game could honestly really go either way, but I'm gonna give the Commanders the edge here simply because they're at home. But if they win this game, they're sitting at a record of 7-5, man, and The NFC East, we know how good the other three teams are. You know, they all have records of 9-1, 7-3, 7-3, and the Washington Commanders are right there. So, is there a chance that all four teams from the NFC East make the playoffs?
All four? That's
All
that's
four.
tough. That's tough. I don't know. I don't think all four can make it.
I
I
don't
think
think so. Commanders
even
got three. They got to play
even
the Eagles and the Giants, right? I'm pretty sure.
even three might be pushing it in my opinion. I think three might be pushing it as well.
No,
I don't know.
I think they get three in.
I don't know, man. Because like these teams still have a lot of football to play against each other. So like that could change in a matter of just weeks. Like
That's
in
true,
a
though.
month from now, we could be talking about the Giants not making the playoffs at all. So
That's true.
I don't know. I just can't see it for the Commanders. I just can't. I don't think four teams can make it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But go ahead and give me the Commanders in this one. I like them being at home. The -4 spread. I don't think they cover this. I think they win by a field goal. The Falcons are always in close affairs, man. They always seem to be fighting. It doesn't matter who they play. So go ahead and give me the Commanders, but they won't cover the spread. We'll move on to a snooze fest of a game. I don't think anybody will be watching this one. The Denver Broncos are on the road playing the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, but you can agree this one is kind of interesting though. Like in our in terms of picking.
Yeah,
Like
I can say that. Yeah,
it's not going to be a good watch at all whatsoever. But I think correct me if I'm wrong. Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback.
Sam Darnold did get announced as a starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers this week.
See, yeah, give me the Panthers right now. Like all season long, have the Broncos given us a reason to pick them? Like there's been nothing that's like we're like okay, you know the Broncos are not that bad of a pick this week. Like I cannot go with them. They've been putting up 14 or 15 points a game. At least the Panthers are putting up 20, even with multiple changes at quarterback. So give me the Panthers in this one.
Big dilemma here. This where I need a point. You know what I'm saying? Magic, old Magic Russell Wilson, he's gonna come clutch this week. So I'm gonna go with the Broncos. The Panthers are just it's too much quarterback switches. Last week Baker Mayfield, this week Sam Darnold. We haven't seen Sam Darnold play in how long? I don't know how long. There's no explanation how long he hasn't touched the football. How long he's game time shape. Is he ready? Can't go with that. So I'm gonna rock with the Broncos.
Man, this is real interesting. Broncos are the favorites in this one, -2.5. Um, honestly, don't know, but if I had to pick this game, life on the line, I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers. We've seen a little bit of Sam Darnold last year, but that was with CMC, and even DJ Moore was having himself a good start to the season with him under center. I think those two guys have a connection going. Deontay Foreman is not bad as a running back. He's been able to have some success on the ground from week to week. And the Broncos, like I've said, man, and they haven't given me a reason to pick them. And I picked them early on in the season to gain a couple points here and there, and they burned me. So I think I'm just gonna stay away from them, and for the rest of the season, just like the Green Bay Packers, and until they give me a reason to pick them, I won't pick them. So go ahead and give me the Panthers. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Baltimore Ravens are on the road playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The Jags are coming off their bye, right?
Jags are coming off their bye.
This one's a bit interesting, but I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens, not because of their offense. Usually I've picked them because of how Lamar's been playing, but that offense has just been downright terrible. But their defense has just been playing lights out, and they're on a 4-game win streak. So I'm gonna rock with the Baltimore Ravens in this one. Their defense is gonna get the job done. They're gonna get to the quarterback, and they force a lot of turnovers. They create havoc, and so they ever since week 4, week 3, or week 4 actually, they've been playing amazing. So give me the Baltimore Ravens in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens for this one as well. Yeah, their defense ever since that Dolphins game, they've been playing phenomenal. So I feel like the Ravens can come in, if they can run the ball, find Mark Andrews, I feel like they can do something with that. That's their game plan. But if they can establish the run game, they're gonna come out with this W, especially with their defense playing great. But who knows about the Jaguars, man? Their offense, one week they can explode, the next week they're quiet, the next week they can explode, and then them coming off a bye. Etienne, Christian Kirk, Lawrence, they look good in their last game. So it might be a close one, but I got the Ravens coming out.
This one's an interesting one because, of course, teams coming off their bye week, they can come out a bit sluggish or they can come out red hot. And the Jaguars, the way they went into their bye week, there was an interesting game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Trevor Lawrence had himself one great day, and Christian Kirk as well. So I don't know, man. Their record's sitting at 3-7. I don't know if they're playing to lose, and they got fresh legs, but nah, I'm gonna go ahead and let me just go with the Ravens. But I do get a little bit of a feeling, a gut feeling that this is a trap game. I think the Ravens, they haven't shown anything offensively since pretty much the beginning of the season when Lamar Jackson was, pretty much carrying that team, where he was rushing for 80 plus yards and a touchdown, and throwing 3-4 touchdowns and over 250 passing yards, and that just hasn't been the case for him. These last maybe 5-6 games, he's pretty much cooled off, and but I mean, at the end of the day, they do set a record. They do have a record of 7-3, and they're sitting at the top of their division, so they're doing something right. But go ahead and give me the Ravens in this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars just come in red hot and they just continue. They just pick up right where they left off against Kansas City. So go ahead and give me the Ravens. We'll move on to the next game. Two teams that just lost on primetime this past week. The Los Angeles Chargers are on the road playing the Arizona Cardinals.
Give me the Chargers in this one just because I don't believe in the Cardinals and I just can't. This team just looks dejected. They don't look like they have any sort of motivation. At least I feel like the Chargers are still trying to play for their season. And for the Cardinals, their season seems to be over. Just overall, just the mood over there. I think they fired 2 coaches today, if I'm correct. They just have a lot going on over there. It's just a dysfunctional team. So give me the Chargers in this one. The Chargers are playing for the season. It's not like Justin Herbert's been playing bad or anything. Justin Herbert can most definitely get the job done in this game. So give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers, man. You know me with Arizona. Ever since Call of Duty came out, Kyler Murray hasn't touched the ball. He hasn't played a game. 2 coaches getting fired today. There's just a whole lot going on with that team. The defensive side of the ball, they're not good at all. I just think Chargers are a better team completely, even with their situation, how they're playing this season. I still think they're a better overall team than the Cardinals. So I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, this one, it's not. Normally it's supposed to be an interesting game, between Kyler Murray, D Hop, and Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, his guys, but it's just not the case for this season. The Cardinals season is pretty much down in the drain. They have a record of 4-7, being with the NFC is so wide open, but I don't think they got a shot. They're saying that Kyler Murray might not even play this week. They're trying to bench him going into the bye week. Just go ahead and give me the Chargers in this one. The spread is -4.5. I think they just went off on a field goal, to be honest. This one's probably going to be really, really ugly. So I'll go ahead and take the Chargers just because. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the road playing Big H's Seattle Seahawks. Raiders are just coming off a walk-off win with Devontae Adams. I don't know how long that touchdown was, but I still the highlight keeps playing in the back of my head.
He's not him. You know me, who I'm rocking with, man. I'm going with the Seahawks. It's not even a question. Hey, the Raiders, I feel like they just struggle with the Broncos, a team that really doesn't have an identity on the offense. But Geno Smith, man, Kenneth Walker, Lockett, DK, we got a team, and we got a good defensive team as well. I just don't expect Derek Carr to play as good as he did against the Broncos against us, but DA is a phenomenal receiver, man. So I feel like he's going to come in and get his. But other than that, we're going to stop everybody else. Go Seahawks.
This one's a little bit interesting because the Seahawks, they're giving up like practically the same amount of yards per game as the Raiders. They're giving up the same amount of points, or they're like 0.1 off as the Raiders. So defensively, it's kind of, at least with the Seahawks on their end, they have a little bit more playmakers, but it's not like they've been lights out defensively. The only interesting stat is I don't think that there's apparently a stat that the Raiders haven't beaten the Seahawks in nearly 25 years at the Seahawks home. So I don't know how comfortable we could be with picking the Raiders in this one. Nearly 25 years of history right there. And the Seahawks, apparently they've won like 8 out of their 12 games coming out of a bye week under Pete Carroll. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one. They're coming a team that's well rested, that has history at winning at home against the Raiders. Offensively, they have a clear identity in what they want to do. And Geno Smith has been playing great. Yeah, just give me them. And they don't really lose out coming out of their bye. And the Broncos just came out of overtime game. I mean, the Raiders just came out of overtime game. So give me the Seahawks.
I don't know, man. We saw what Devontae Adams did to Pat Surtain last week. Tariq Woolen, he's next on the list. I don't, Josh Jacobs can have some success on the ground as well, but the history, is on Seattle's side in this one. It won't be edgy here, but I would take the Seattle Seahawks to win this one. They're the favorites, -3.5. They probably win this game by like 6, to be honest, because they'll struggle to guard Devontae Adams. They'll struggle to stop the run against Josh Jacobs, but the same thing will apply to the Las Vegas Raiders. They'll struggle to stop Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Kenneth Walker. And just give me Geno Smith when it comes to the quarterback play between him and Derek Carr. So go ahead and give me the Seattle Seahawks. We'll move on to the next game, a game that was supposed to be interesting. At the start of the season, the Los Angeles Rams are on the road playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Give me the Chiefs. I don't have to say anything more. Patrick Mahomes, that's it. It
Yeah,
should be
Chiefs.
straightforward.
Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, keep pushing.
Before we move on, though, I know we're all picking the Chiefs. Chiefs -14.5.
Absolutely not. Okay, that's crazy. That's a ridiculous spread. Like, I can see 7, 8, but like 14.5 is just that's OD. Nah.
Where the Rams offense coming from, man? I'm being honest.
I don't know where it's gonna be coming from, but 14.5 is just that's a ridiculous spread.
It's kind of crazy, but I think it happens. I think they do beat them by like 20, 21. I think it's a blowout. I don't think it's gonna be a close game at all, like whatsoever.
I mean,
Nah.
I don't know what the status of Matthew Stafford is this week. What is he in concussion protocols? What is he in, knee injury or something?
I don't know what
Concussion
he
protocol.
Yeah, so he's re-entered the concussion protocol. Yeah, he's probably not going to play this week. So the Chiefs -14.5. Yeah, like Big H said, man, I don't see where the offense will come from. With their backup quarterback. So I think the Chiefs get him out of there real early. Patrick Mahomes doesn't necessarily play in the fourth quarter. Travis Kelce doesn't play in the fourth quarter. They get a little bit of rest going into the next week. And the Chiefs move on to 9-2, man. Start the beginning of the year, people had their doubts about this team. And now they sit at the top of the AFC, in the AFC race that's so close. There's a lot of teams with very, very good records. But if this team gets the number 1 seed again, you might as well book them to go to the Super Bowl, simply because it's pretty much the Arrowhead Invitational, like they keep preaching. People are gonna have to go to their home and beat them, and a lot of teams haven't had much success doing that. It's pretty rare. We're trying to go into Arrowhead and get a win there. So go ahead and give me the Chiefs in this one. But we'll move on to the next 1:00 game. The New Orleans Saints are on the road playing the San Francisco 49ers.
Give me the 49ers in this one, just because I just like how they're just playing overall as the offense, man. Like, they're mad fluid. They have guys like CMC, IU, Kittle, Debo that we talked about, and every single one of those guys, they got involved. Jimmy G had a clean game, just shredded the Cardinals. And I mean, the Saints, it was cute, Andy Dalton, what he did last week, but I don't think he's replicating that against this defense. They're going to attempt to get to him, and the Saints offensive line has not been playing great at all. They've been downright bad. So give me the Niners this one. They just have too much firepower.
Yeah, I'm picking the Niners straight up, especially on the offensive side of the ball. What they showcased last week with everybody healthy, from Debo, IU to Kittle to CMC to Elijah Mitchell, and Jimmy G throwing for 4 touchdowns, man. That offense is scary. So I expected long day for that Saints defense, and this is the Niners defense. I'm not gonna expect Andy Dalton to come out throw for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns again like he did last week. So the Niners defense, they got some dogs on that side of the ball. What's his name? Fred Warner, Boza, Hufanga. They got some nice guys on defense, and they're coming back and getting healthy. So I got the Niners winning this one.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Niners to win this one. Do they cover this -9 spread? No, I don't think they'll be red hot on offense like they were last week on Monday night against the Cardinals. A lot of that had to do with the Cardinals just giving up so early. But I'll go. Jimmy G will have himself a good day, and their offense will be flying high. But the Saints defense, I give them a little bit of respect here. So the Niners will win by a touchdown. I don't think this game will be entertaining whatsoever. But yeah, give me the Niners in this one. But we'll go ahead and move on to our Sunday night matchup. The Green Bay Packers are on the road playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
If y'all don't pick Packers, what's up? But now, I'll be serious here. Give me the Eagles, man. There's no reason for me to pick my own team against the Eagles. Like, I just don't see a situation where, like, we literally got beaten by Ryan Tannehill last week. Am I hoping that we win this game? Yeah, but do I see it happening? No. With the way we were playing against guys like Treylon Burks, just 10 yards like soft coverage. Imagine we're doing that against guys like AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. And then, of course, I feel like the running game for the Eagles has not been there as of recently, but they can get right back on track against us. We're just a terrible defense as it is right now. And offensively, it's not like we've been playing lights out. We have had our moments, but it's just not there. So give me the Eagles in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles in this one. Although the last 2 weeks they haven't looked great on the offensive side of the ball. They haven't been scoring much, but they came out with a W last week. But it's the Packers, man. What can I expect from the Packers? There's nothing to look forward to on that team, offensively and defensively. So I'm gonna rock with the Eagles. I feel like it's gonna be a close game, but I think they come out and grind it out and get a W.
There was no reason for you to pick the Green Bay Packers last week against Tennessee Titans, man. That was just the fan in you talking, but go ahead and give me the Eagles in this one. The spread is Eagles -7. Do I believe they'll cover this spread? I think they win this game by 10. Another bad game by Aaron Rodgers, and it's nothing new for this Green Bay Packers team. Their season will be done after this. It was already done a couple weeks ago, but they'll have a record of 4-8. Not looking too good for them. So the Eagles will move on to 10-1. So give me the Eagles. I don't know why this game's on Monday night, but to close out Week 12 of the NFL season, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the road playing Jeff Saturday's Indianapolis Colts.
This one's kind of an interesting one. What's the spread on this?
Colts -2.5.
I don't know, man. This one's a bit interesting. Give me the Steelers actually in this one. I'm gonna rock with the Steelers. I know I have praised Jeff Saturday's Colts, but I have feel like recently the Steelers offense has looked better. Najee Harris, ever since I think he had some sort of metal in his foot, ever since he had that taken out, he has looked better. I have to give him credit. I called him one of the slowest running backs in the league, and recently he's been playing phenomenal. Guys like George Pickens have finally started to get their feet under them. This offense is starting to get a little bit of rhythm to it. And of course the Colts have been playing great, but I want to go with the Steelers in this one. I have a gut feeling that they get this.
I was hoping you picked the Colts, man. I thought I was gonna get an easy one with the Steelers, but I'm gonna go with the Steelers, man. I think their defense has gotten back healthy. Minka's back, TJ Watt's back, and the offense there's some good stuff in the offense right now. George Pickens, Nigel been looking good the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna go with the Steelers instead of this Colts team.
God damn, man. Look at you guys putting me in a tough spot. Nah, I'm not buying it. I did pick the Steelers to win a couple weeks ago against the Saints. But I'm not doing that here. Go ahead and give me the Colts. I like what they got going for them. They played pretty well against the Eagles. Do I feel like they deserve to win that game? Not necessarily. They could have done a lot of things better down the stretch in that fourth quarter. Their defense held up their end of the bargain, but offensively not really. I think Jonathan Taylor, he's been more involved in this offense, and that's what I like to see as a fantasy owner, just giving him his touches, 25, 26 touches, letting him get in his 80 yards and a touchdown. And I trust Matt Ryan under center. Najee Harris, what he did against the Cincinnati Bengals last week, I told you guys it surprised me. I only found out through fantasy. He only putting up to 20 points last week, but I'm not buying it. I think the Steelers will once again struggle. Trying to get Najee Harris the ball is not going to work, and Kenny Pickett at quarterback, I'm not his biggest fan either. So go ahead and give me the Colts in this one. Do I believe this game can go either way? I mean, the spread's sitting at -2.5, so I feel like Vegas knows something we don't. So, but regardless, go ahead and give me the Colts. But that pretty much wraps up Week 12 of the NFL season. This is probably the first week in about maybe 5-6 weeks since like Week 4, Week 5, where there's no team on bye. We got a full slate of games. We got a nice slate on Thanksgiving. We got a lot of interesting games this week. But that pretty much wraps up today's episode. Any final words before we close things out here, fellas?
Now, America has to see my team get whooped in prime time. That's crazy, man.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't flex you guys out, man. Like, there's no reason why
you can't. You do the Packers pulling the most viewership. You have to have them on prime time. Like, come on, we see. Like, how can the so-called one of the greatest games ever, the Vikings and Bills, not be top 5 in viewership? That's crazy to me. But hey, man, it is what it is.
Well, that game didn't start heating up till the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you would expect people to start tuning in, but I mean, I guess people weren't that interested. But
I mean, you're not going to be laughing when the Eagles put it on you guys on Sunday night, but I'm looking forward to another week of football, man. My team get their game out of the way early, and I can just chill on Sundays without getting a heart attack. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and close things out here. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We'd greatly appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. For those of you that are watching us on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be in the beginning of this video. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now H, now that's overkill.